Well, hello there, and I'm calling this one Nothing Is As It Seems. So here I am, surrounded by snow, and it's the end of April, and this is the first axiom of shamanism, is to understand that nothing is as it seems. Just to give you an example, here I am sitting outside in wild nature, surrounded by the plants and listening to the song of the birds. And there's so much more going on than I'm actually consciously aware of. So for example, underneath the ground where I'm sitting, in just 1 cubic millimetre of soil alone, there are millions and millions of microbes. There are lots of other creatures too, nematodes, insects, all sorts of life that I'm not actually aware of as I'm sitting here. So that's a very simple way to understand what I mean by nothing is as it seems. Another way to look at this is if you go on to the atomic and subatomic level, then when it looks like I'm clasping my hand in my fist, actually it turns out that the gap between the hand and the fist is sufficient that I never actually touch. Touch in itself is actually an illusory state. And I've got the sleep coming down, which is just beautiful. Another thing for me was when I started to work with the green medicine, I began to realise that maybe perhaps the government and all the institutions of enforcement are not actually there to serve my highest good, and perhaps they had their own agenda. So when we go into nothing as it seems, what we begin to realise when we look beneath the surface, things are actually very different from how they appear to be superficially. So the second significant statement that we get from shamanism, which is so useful, is everything is information. And when I was doing my training and I was doing the journeys that we do from just before we're conceived, through the whole of pregnancy, through to birth, through to just after birth, one thing that really got to me when I was doing that process is about 2/3 of the time I had no answer for any of the questions that I was being asked in the journeying realms. I got very frustrated, understandably, and what I learned, what my teacher reminded me over and over again, no information is information. So everything is information. And that's why I invite you to understand about the natural world, to realise that encoded into these plants is massive amounts of information, so much. And encoded into your DNA, the information is staggeringly complex, enough to make your entire human body, and that's only 3%, the other 97% is encoding so much more information. So everything is information. That's the thing to understand. And the bird song, that's information. The way that the tree branches are formed to create these spiral vortex shapes is all information. Sacred geometry, fractal, Mandelbrot, all these expressions, it's all conveying the fact that there is so much information in nature. So when you want to tune into the source, come into nature. This is what shamans do. And by being present in nature, you'll become aware of so much. Thank you.